Hey y'all, what's going on? I'm here for the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 9 episode 15. It seems like it's been forever since we had an episode for this show, but we started off with Kandi. You know, she invites Sheree, Cynthia, and Kenya at her house, and she's pretty much telling them about the explosive conversation she had with Portia during the last episode. And meantime, on the other side of town, Portia is at Lauren's house telling her version of the story. Kandi also invites Shamia at her house and everything, you know, despite the fact that, you know, Portia and Shamia are best friends. You know, Kandi and Shamia are pretty tight too, and she doesn't want Shamia to be in the middle of it, but she got to tell her about the bullshit that her bestie Portia has been pulling. So she's telling her, you know, she's telling Shamia about the glamping trip and everything, and how Portia was acting all dumb and shit, and come to find out it was her who had, you know, said the, you know, trapped in the closet shit about Kandi or whatever. And Sheree, she's like, you know, I'm not sure why Portia is taking the fall for Phaedra or whatever. And you know, she was like, I don't want to be the one to tell it, but you know, Sheree needs to admit it and everything. I'm like, bitch, you tell everything else. Like, what is so special about Phaedra that you just trying to give her a chance not to say what the fuck she said? Like, no, fuck that. You might as well just put all the shit out there. And from my understanding, when I was watching Kandi on Watch What Happens Live a couple weeks ago, Kandi didn't find out about the shit until we found out about it, you know, watching at home like us, you know what I'm saying, about what Phaedra has said. So, I'm telling y'all, I hope they get Sheree's ass good at their reunion. I know they gonna be going at each other or whatever at the reunion, but I hope they get Sheree's ass real good, okay? But anyways, Kandi, she, you know, she tells them about what Portia has said to her in the club about, you know, wanting to eat her puss until she come or whatever. And they all like, what? Oh my God! Ah! You know, being all dramatic and shit. And, you know, Portia, she's telling Lauren, she was like, you know, I mean, I was drunk. I don't remember. And, you know, Kandi was sober. Okay. So, you know, Kandi also tells them about how she tried to claim that she was in the 7-year relationship with the woman and how she has a sex dungeon and all this other stuff. They're like, oh girl, what's the sex dungeon there? Where's the sex dungeon? And Kandi like, bitches, calm the fuck down. I ain't got no sex dungeon. The bitch made shit up, okay? So, you know, Portia, she's telling Lauren about what she said about Todd or whatever, about, you know, him going by the name of Marvin when he goes up to New York and all this other stuff. And, you know, Kandi tells, you know, the girls about that too. And, you know, Cynthia, she talks about the rumors that Portia had made on Peter or whatever, but never, you know, she never brings any receipts. So, you know, Portia, she says that someone told her that Kandi and Todd planned on drugging her or whatever. And, you know, Kandi is telling them the same thing about, you know, Portia saying that, you know, that they was planning on drugging her and all this other stuff. They like, oh, hell no. Like, pretty much like they don't believe the shit and everything. You know, they don't believe what you know, what Portia is saying. So, you know, Shamia, you know, because also, I guess Portia tried to say that she not only that Kandi and Todd not only tried to drug her, they tried to drug Shamia as well. And Shamia, she was like, no, you never talked about trying to drug me or no shit like that, you know what I'm saying? And Kandi, she took offense to that because she like, look, I've been in the industry for years, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would I do some shit like that? And honestly, I don't think Kandi was on no shit like that, and that is a hell of an accusation to be making, and I would feel some type of way too if somebody tried to say some shit like that about me, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a hell of an accusation to make, and it's people who really do go through situations like that, and for Portia just to throw that shit out there like that, that's, you know, that's fucked up, you know what I mean? But anyways, you know, Kenya, she like, I been told y'all that the bitch was a liar. Okay, so moving on from that, we get Kandi again. You know, she's talking to Todd, you know, at the old lady gang restaurant. Excuse me, y'all. And Todd, he talks about how he wants to do a getaway to Hawaii. And, you know, Kandi is like, well, you know, I normally do a getaway with the girls every year and everything. And Todd, he's cool with it, but he wants the guys to come. He's like, you know, I was thinking about maybe Peter. I don't know if Cynthia is going to be okay considering they're going through this divorce. And Candy is like, I mean, I don't know about that, but I'll ask, you know, Cynthia and see if she's okay with it or whatever, this, that, and the third. And they want Bob to come as well. Candy doesn't mind if Phaedra comes, but she doesn't really know about Portia. Todd, he's over Portia at this point, you know, all the shit that she had to say about Candy and then the shit that she tried to say about him too. So, moving on, we get Kenya. She's, you know, going to a restaurant with her brother and her nieces and everything. And this is her brother from her dad's side. And, you know, she's like that she wants her nieces to visit her for about 2 weeks and everything. And he's like, I'm not sure about that. That's a big responsibility to be handling. And she's like, I mean, I'm older than you. What are you talking about? And he's like, yeah, but you don't really have experience in this department with kids. You know what I'm saying? And Kenya's telling us how she used to, you know, change his diapers, do all this stuff for him all the time. So she feels like she does have somewhat of experience and everything. And, you know, he's like, you know, well, what about having your own kids? Like, what's going on with that? So she's telling him about Matt and everything and how he's younger than him or whatever. And she's saying how you know, she tells him about his violent tendencies and everything, and the brother, he looking, you know, he not feeling that shit, you know what I'm saying? And she's like, you know, like she's still saying that he wouldn't put his hands on me and blah 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 or whatever. She thinks that it's not even anger, it's just to try to get her attention. I said, okay, Kenya, he gonna get your attention, all right, one day, get your attention and go across your damn face with his bare hands, okay? So I really hope she don't get, I mean, like I said, I know, you know, on social media they're, you know, at this point they're not together anymore. I hope in the future they don't get back together. Just leave that shit alone. But anyway, so, you know, the brother, he's like, you know, he should be treating you like gold and everything. And she was like, well, he has and everything. And he like, well, is you gonna wait for him to mature, or I mean, you know, what's going on? And she's like, well, he's not the one who wants to break in the relationship. I did, and blah blah blah. And he's like, well, in the relationship you can't, you know, take breaks and all this other stuff. And, you know, she's like that she doesn't know if she's really wasting her time and yada yada yada. So moving on from that, we get Cynthia. She meets up with Candy and Phaedra or whatever. Candy actually, you know, and she wanted Cynthia to come or whatever because her and Phaedra haven't been on an outing, just them two, in a while. So she didn't want it to be awkward. But she wants to tell her about, you know, the Hawaii trip and everything. And she tells her that, you know, Todd doesn't want to be the only guy. So, you know, so they invited Peter or whatever. And Cynthia's kind of like, huh? You know, like, we going through a divorce here. Like, yeah, that's going to be kind of weird. She like, I mean, as long as me and him have separate rooms, I mean, I'm fine with it and everything. And then on the other side of town, we get Sheree at the gym with Bob. And, you know, they're flirting or whatever. She jokes about him having a bad back and she may need to get her a young boy and whatever. She tells him about the trip and everything, but they're going to be in separate rooms. And he like, man, this going to be like the last trip, because the last trip they were in separate rooms, you know. And Phaedra, she's like, you know, actually my honeymoon was in, you know, Maui, which is the part of Hawaii they're going to. And, you know, she's like, she's not sure she's going to be comfortable because she knows Peter doesn't like her, and she knows her and Todd haven't really been in the best place either. And Candy is like, well, Todd is tired of the tension, so I don't think it's going to be like that big of a deal. Phaedra, she wants Portia to come. And, you know, Candy like, well, I mean, you can invite her or whatever, but I'm personally not going to invite her after, you know, everything that's going on between us. So Cynthia, she brings up, you know, the Candy and Portia meet up to Phaedra. She's like, did you hear about that or whatever? And Phaedra like, you know, I ain't got nothing to say about it. They ain't got nothing to do with me or whatever. I was like, you know, Phaedra, this might have been the perfect time for you to, you know, confess to what you said. Confess to your sins. I'm just saying. So anyways, moving on from that, we get Phaedra and Portia. They're doing some kind of sauna session or whatever, pretty much trying to get their skin tight, you know, they tummies tight or whatever. They talking about getting their coochies tight and all this other stuff. I'm just like, look, I'm tired of y'all and all this goddamn coochie talk. Coochie, titty, all that shit. Okay, like I'm sick of it. So anyways, after Phaedra gets done what she's getting done or whatever, she comes out in some Hawaii attire or whatever. Pretty much, that's her way of telling Portia about the trip. And Phaedra tells her about who all is going. Portia's like, okay, so you got the teapot, the instigator, the flip-flopper, and the messy bitch. Why do I want to go again? And everything. And Phaedra was like, well, I already accepted the invitation or whatever, and I want you to be my +1. And Portia is like, alright, I go, whatever. Like, it's one thing for me to deal with these heifers here. Now I gotta deal with these heifers out the country. Portia, y'all are going to Hawaii. I don't know if you know. Well, it's clear you don't know, but Hawaii is still a part of it's still a part of the United States. I mean, I know it's like its own little island or whatever, but it's still a part of the 50 states. I'm just throw that out there. I'm just okay. Anyway, so we get to the Hawaii trip or whatever. Cynthia and Peter, they arrive at the airport first. It feels kind of awkward between them. Kenya, Cynthia, and Bob, and Peter, they show up or whatever. And of course, Candy and Todd, they show up and everything. And Sheree, she makes it just in time before the flight takes off. Phaedra and Portia are going to meet them later on. They arrive at they arrive in Hawaii or whatever. They're planning on having a dinner. Todd is like, I ain't really ready for dinner. Because y'all like to handle shit at dinner time or whatever. Y'all like to bring up shit and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And Candy is like, look, we just got off a flight. I'm not even feeling all that or whatever. So frickin' frack, they finally show up. And Portia decides to bring her Todd. We're going to call him Ditzy Todd in this particular review, since this is the first time that him and Candy's Todd is going to be in a scene together. So yeah, we're going to call Portia's Todd Ditzy Todd, because y'all know he acts real ditzy a lot of times. So she brought him pretty much just in case something needs to be explained to a man on the trip. Just in case something needs to be explained to a man on the trip, he could be the one to do that. I'm just like, what the fuck he gonna do? This dumbass. So anyways, we get to the dinner. Everybody shows up and everything. Portia shows up with Ditzy Todd. The tension is thick or whatever. Nobody really greets her, when she says hello. It's Ditzy Todd's birthday or whatever. And Peter's birthday, I think, is supposed to be like the next day or something. So, Portia is like, you know what? Me and Candy both are with somebody by the name of Todd, but I'm going to call her Todd, toddler or whatever, because, he's cute and short. I was just like, girl. So anyways, Candy, she goes to the bathroom. She's still like irritated with Portia. She's still pissed off about, the whole drugging accusations, which I don't blame her about that, because she's like, that can ruin her life, you know what I mean? Candy's like, that's alright, because I got something for her. Then finally, Phaedra shows up. Peter asks Kenya why she didn't bring Matt, and she's like, well, it's a lot of reasons, but I mean, too, I didn't have nobody to watch my dog, so that's where he's at and everything. I'm like, so you let that motherfucker back up in your house? Girl, I mean, whatever. So anyways, it's silent, it's awkward, and Sheree, she feels the weirdness, so of course she's like, you know what, look, we need to address some issues and everything. And she, she says, Portia, like, some of the girls feel like you say slanderous things, and that, you say some things that are not true. And Cynthia's like, yeah, well, the conversation pretty much stemmed from the lies that you told about Candy. And Portia like, I didn't lie or whatever. And Candy like, so you gonna stick with that? Like, for real? Like, for real? You really gonna stick with that? And Portia is like, she was like, so you went back and told the table about the conversation we had? Portia is like, just like true Candy messy fashion or whatever, this, that, and the third. So, Todd, he's like, yo, let's cut the bullshit and let's stick to, the matter at hand here. And she's like, we're not talking to you right now, whatever. What did you say, Candy? I was like, but, Todd, he was like, all right, I'm going to stay out of it. I ain't even going to, he a better one than me, because I'm just saying, fuck that. But, anyway, so, Candy is like, she was like, you're a liar. That's what the fuck I said. And, Cynthia, she feels like that it's just, it was a lot of lies being told or whatever. And, Portia is like that, it was a lot of things that was said between me and Candy or whatever. And I felt like it was stuff that she was lying about. And I just had to come with, the truth and everything. Candy, she tells the group, she's like, well, look, Portia tried to say that, me and Todd tried to drug her and tried to drug her and Shamia and take them to a sex dungeon that does not even exist. And Portia was like, no, I said that, someone, that you told someone that you were going to drug us. And Candy is like, you are a lying bitch or whatever, and that you was kissing me in the club and you wanted to eat my vag and all this other stuff. And Portia is like, I mean, we was drinking and you was sober, and everybody looking at her like, bitch, what? Like, they looking at her like she just like, yeah, bitch, you really lying now. Like, they was looking at her like she was fucking stupid. You know what I'm saying? So, Candy is like, oh, so you trying to say you don't remember what you said? You know what I'm saying? And, Portia is like, I don't know, I probably did say it. I was tipsy and everything. They like, oh, so you admitting it pretty much. You know what I'm saying? And Kenya's like, look, we need a motherfucking lie detector test. Where the fuck is Maury at? And Candy, next thing you know, she passes around a paper full of text messages or whatever around the table and everything for everybody to, be able to read. And, Portia like, what's that? Or whatever. Candy, she reads it out loud, and pretty much what's on the paper is that, Portia says that, she wasn't going to rape her or whatever on camera. And, apparently, Portia was saying, like, this stuff days after, they was at the club or whatever. And that, if Candy said anything crazy on camera, she was going to walk away and act like she didn't know her. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. And, she's like, do that sound like somebody that was afraid or whatever, this, that, and third? So pretty much Portia was aware of what the fuck she had said a few nights, before she, text Candy. So, Cynthia's like, I mean, girl, unless you got some receipts or whatever, I don't know. Portia gonna sit up here talking about your receipt is your divorce decree. I'm just like, Portia, like, was that even necessary? Like, Cynthia was not even coming at you on no rude shit. All she said was, I mean, girl, unless you coming with some receipts, then, I mean, it's kind of looking like you're the light. Like, that's pretty much what she was trying, like, that's pretty much what Cynthia was saying. So for you to sit up here and try to deflect and throw that shit in Cynthia's face, and, like, let's be clear, like, Cynthia was the one who filed for divorce. Yeah, even though it may be hurting her that she had to file for divorce from her husband or whatever, the point is she still filed. She still was the one who filed. So, like, girl bad. Like, so anyways, that shit just irritated me. So Portia is like, she says that, I'm sorry, yeah. She's saying that Candy is with the fraud, trying to say that Todd is a fraud and all this other stuff. And, Phaedra like, look, I don't know if anybody lying or whatever. And I'm just like, Phaedra, what the fuck is you speaking for? Because you damn sure was not speaking in last episode while you was letting your girl hang the fucking dry. And you still letting her hang the fucking dry because you won't say what the fuck you said. Alright? So you might as well you just shut the hell up. You know what I'm saying? And, Candy is like, Phaedra, she said I had a sex dungeon and that, and she said, she's saying, like, if I did have one, y'all would know about it because I would have no problem saying it. And, Candy is like, she also says, the bitch tried to say that we was going to drug her. Portia, says once again no, somebody told me that you said that or whatever. And Sheree was like, all right, leave the drug thing alone. You know what I'm saying? And I was with Sheree on that shit. You know, she's like, you know, pretty much Sheree was like, that's some deep accusations to be making here. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, Candy is like, I will sue your ass if you keep on saying that shit. And, you know, Portia's like, well, I mean, she has a right to deny it and everything. Candy, she pops up. She's getting more irritated. She's like, no, you have a right to stop saying that shit. You know what I mean? And she's like, Portia don't care about the fact that she has kids, that she has businesses, and, you know, those type of accusations you throwing out there could just sit with you. You know what I'm saying? Even if the shit is not true, once you throw some shit out there like that, if enough people, you know, believe it, it can, like, really ruin you. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Portia is like, don't come at me about my business if you don't want me to come at you about yours. And Candy, she getting more pissed off. Peter trying to calm the situation down or whatever. And, you know, Candy is like, you know, it took everything in me not to choke the shit out this bitch. I was like, oh. Yeah. But that pretty much, you know, was the episode or whatever. I didn't care to talk about Phaedra, you know, going to the church or whatever. So, but anyways, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you guys come back. Make sure you guys click the bell so you guys can, you know, get notified about all my new videos. And I will see you guys later.